It's been a crazy week for Luna UST, and it's just going to get wilder because there are several schemes flying about to try to save the entire ecosystem. If you're a current or former UST holder, I need your support to get one of these proposals passed. Please take the time to watch the entire video. It is highly crucial. Welcome to Cryptique, a channel that gives critical evaluation or analysis, especially in dealing with crypto. Everything regarding money, finance, investing, cryptocurrency, and blockchain-related topics including ICOs, NFTs, and yield farming. Let's take a quick look back. In the last week, the Terra biosphere has utterly crashed. The main token, Luna, was decimated when it lost 99.9999% of its worth. YouTuber KSI documented how his $2.8 million investment in Luna transformed to $1,000.
No! Cunt! Balls!
And, truthfully, that $1,000 is probably worth less than $1 at the time of recording. Given the current value of Luna's tokens, it appears to be a meme coin. The Terra network backs UST, a stable coin. This one makes me depressed because it was meant to be worth $1 and be a safe refuge from cryptocurrency volatility. That did not materialize, of course. The price of UST has continued to fall and is now hovering at $0.7. It's just frustrating and it feels like a waste. Every money spent on the UST seemed to be a terrible waste. At least with Luna, you enter through it thinking that it might 2 times or 5 times, but you're aware that there's a significant risk. Nobody buys a stablecoin expecting a 5 times return. And if you do, you have no idea what a stablecoin is, so I assume the whole thing has been a waste of time. It's the only way to put it. It's been disgusting. My heart breaks for every single person who has been affected. This has been completely ridiculous. I'm familiar with the tales. The folks who have been affected by all of this have horrific stories to tell. So Terra attempted to return UST to the $1 mark. They did this by increasing the supply of Luna tokens by producing more and more of them. The graph below shows their supply. This isn't a blunder. It's a perfect right angle. This strategy failed, and it harmed everyone, further entangling Luna and decimating anybody who purchased the token as it fell in value, resulting in even more waste. This story is nothing but loss after loss. So, of course, I became involved in UST and got burned in the process. But I got a short story to tell. The last several days have been among the most difficult of my life. And knowing that crisis produces opportunity, I've been looking for ways to benefit from it all. So, after a week of reading and investigation, I realized something. I noticed that some DEXs took a long time to reprice the USD token, indicating that there may be a possibility to purchase it somewhere and sell it for a higher price elsewhere. After that, repeat the process. I may be able to recoup my investment. Most of the time, this chance would be approximately a 3% price differential, which is far too large a risk to take. It would simply not be worth it. However, USD was once trading at $0.05 and I discovered a DEX offering the same currency for $0.20. So USD at $0.20 means I could purchase UST for $0.20 and rapidly retrieve my losses. So I quickly obtained a small amount of UST to conduct a test, maybe $20 worth. They closed down the network seconds prior to me completing the transfer. The opportunity had passed by the time the network was reopened. So close. However, keep an eye out for possibilities and let me hear if you come across anything. But this is when I begin researching what Terra might be able to do to fix the situation. Before we go any farther, I feel compelled to refute a rumor. In my previous Terra video, I mentioned that there were rumors that Citadel and BlackRock were to blame for Luna and UST collapsing after borrowing Bitcoin from Gemini. I had stated that these were unproven rumors, but I felt compelled to relay all that was now being said due to the commotion. Gemini, BlackRock, and Citadel have all denied any engagement since then. Perhaps there's still some market manipulation going on, but I can't locate any hard evidence. So all I'm doing is reporting what I've discovered. Okay, so this entire recuperation procedure has been a complete disaster. Nothing has gone according to plan. Both tokens were destroyed and the plans were a failure. And Do Kwon, who used to waste half his day on Twitter shaming people, has been relatively silent since his program rendered 1 million people impoverished. Without outside assistance, UST's recovery is practically impossible at this point. Because there is no faith in the system, individuals will keep trading it rather than wait for it to reach $1. However, the ecosystem does possess a few advantages. They own just over $1.5 billion in reserves, the majority of which is made up of a large amount of Bitcoin that they have lent out. And the blockchain is still operational. It's a solid system for basic transactions, not stable coins in terms of technology. That is probably self-evident. However, some recovery plans are being developed as a result of this. The first comes directly from Do Kwon. Just make sure to stay for the second. Do Kwon, on the other hand, wants to try something new. He claims that Luna and UST are effectively dead at this time, but the technology has been constructed and that the developers remain. And, for better or worse, everybody recognizes the name Terra at this time. As a result, he suggests that the network should issue a new token that is community-owned, specifically by those who have been thrown into bankruptcy. The supply of this new token would be 1 billion, shared between Luna and UST holders. 40% of the supply would be distributed to Luna holders prior to the depegging event, 10% to Luna holders at the moment of the final chain halt, when the system essentially expired, 10% to the community pool, and 40% to UST holders, notably UST holders at the moment of this new token launch. The last remark, however, does not appeal to me. I believe it should go to UST holders at the time of depegging, which could be done using a blockchain snapshot. Now, while this approach is better than nothing, I believe Terra is capable of much more. This proposal strikes me as a cop-out. Consider this. The Luna Foundation Guard is sitting on $1.5 billion in Bitcoin. This suggestion is unrelated to finances. This idea effectively says, hey, let's make a new token for them. It will be extremely inexpensive, and people will believe as if they have received something. I propose that we put pressure on Terra and the Luna Foundation Guard to distribute the resources to those who are most affected. A community idea is currently gathering momentum, and I feel we should advocate for it. The reason for this is that this proposal would repay 99.6% of UST customers and holders. The proposal begins by conceding that Terra and UST are, in their current state, essentially finished. The report goes on to state that smaller investors are the ones who are most affected. An individual with an average salary losing $20,000 has a far lower quality of life than someone who is ultra-rich and loses $1 million. Furthermore, rather than a few hundred whales, the majority of people who use a blockchain are little investors. If the $1.5 billion was distributed proportionally to all UST investors, everyone would receive between 10% and 20% in reimbursements. Not nearly enough to make everyone feel better. However, if we start with the tiniest wallets, practically everyone can be paid. This will raise environmental sentiment and generate a lot of goodwill, which will help to build confidence. So, If you think this video has clarified some things for you, please consider liking it and clicking that bell button to be notified of our new videos. Also, you might want to consider subscribing to our channel. It'll really help us out. Back to our video. So, how does this function? Before the depegging event, a snapshot of the Terra blockchain is captured. After that, the Luna Foundation Guard sells their Bitcoin for about $1.5 billion in USDC. After that, anyone who had UST before the depegging event will be allowed to exchange it for full value USDC. But you might wonder, how will there be enough money? The top 1,000 anchor wallets, it turns out, possess 82% of all UST. This means Terra may repay 99.6% of all anchor wallets with $1.46 billion. Anybody with less than $1 million in their wallet would be completely compensated. What about the Luna holders and the whales in Anchor though? They are also significant. I propose that we adopt Do Kwon's new token concept and distribute it according to their previous worth and ownership. So we've paid back 99.6% of the UST community, giving the project a little more confidence to use the new token that comes out and is supported by UST whales and Luna holders. The issue with the $1.5 billion in Bitcoin is that we're not sure where it is, and we can just let it go. We, the users, are the ones that help develop that billion. So that is my proposal. To carry out this plan, let's gather and send messages to Do Kwon, Terra, and LFG. Assist in building momentum and assisting as many people as possible. This is not only Terra's greatest option for restoring the system, but it's also the best method to demonstrate to the rest of the world that crypto can compensate for its mistakes. This enormous blunder occurred, but practically everyone may be compensated in full. So tweet, DM, and email everybody involved. Our chances are minimal in this situation, but if there's even a 1% chance of assisting those who have been harmed, I believe it's well worth the risk. We also have the numbers on our side. And with that, this concludes our video. Acquired a lot of knowledge from this? We recommend checking out our other relevant videos from our channel. Also, consider sharing this video to any friends or family members who might find it useful. Until next time!